America. Breaking overnight. Tornadoes and violent thunderstorms tearing through the southeast, forcing swift water rescues, trees toppling onto homes. Dangerous winds flipping planes and trucks. 30 million in the northeast are on alert as flash flooding and severe storms move in.
Chilling new details about that deadly ambush in Niger. A survivor of the attack that left 4 special ops soldiers dead now reveals what happened in those terrifying hours. 50 terrorists pinned down U.S. forces as they tried to escape inside the battle. And the questions this morning: why did it take more than 48 hours to find Sergeant LaDavid Johnson?
Serial killer on the loose. Authorities racing against time to find the murderer, terrorizing a Tampa neighborhood.
We will hunt this son of a down until we find him.
Gunning down 3 people in 10 days. The emergency town hall meeting overnight. Authorities now saying everyone could be a suspect or a victim. And the clues that could be in this surveillance video.
And a hot air balloon with 5 passengers on board runs into a tree, goes up in flames.
Oh my God! On fire.
Forcing an emergency landing inside the scary ride.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And we do say good morning, America. Great to have you with us on this Tuesday morning. Lots to get to, like that severe weather heading for the Northeast and record-breaking temperatures out west.
Triple digits again in Los Angeles today, just in time for the World Series to kick off. Could be the hottest World Series ever. We have more on that coming up.
But first, we want to get to those severe storms tearing through the southeast overnight. Several reported tornadoes flipping small planes. ABC's Gio Benitez is there on the scene at the airport in Hickory, North Carolina. Good morning, Gio.
Robin, good morning to you. We're talking about 7 reported tornadoes across the Carolinas. And just take a look behind me. Look at this unbelievable damage here at the airport. You see that plane, you see that hangar, and this is just some of the destruction here. Torrential rains and damaging wind taking aim at the Carolinas.
Look at that. There it is. Oh my God.
In North Carolina, at Hickory's regional airport, cars flipped on top of one another after a reported tornado touched down. This airport hangar ripped apart, winds picking up and tossing private planes.
It flipped that hangar over the hangar that's still standing.
The roof ripped off the post office in Lawndale, trees uprooted and crashing down onto homes.
All I heard was stuff hitting the back of the building, and we went down for cover.
Many roads left impassable, umbrellas not holding up on the streets of Charlotte, cars barely able to navigate the streets of Asheville. In Spartanburg, South Carolina,
just got hit by a tornado. This is my truck.
Another reported tornado knocking this tractor trailer to its side, leaving roads filled with debris and power lines scattered.
That is crazy.
Trees snapped like toothpicks, the roof torn off this industrial complex, igniting a fire. And while thousands are still without power across the southeast, there are no reported injuries or deaths. That's the good news, George.
Thank goodness for that, Gio. Thanks very much. Let's go to Ginger right now. That's severe weather heading north.
Now, folks from Maryland up through Vermont have the potential for those tornadoes and damaging winds. Also, flash flooding, which is something you saw in Boone, North Carolina. Those aerial images show you all too well what can happen with these types of storms, especially as this cold front slowly moves through the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. So from Philadelphia to New York City, going to be a wet day up through New England. This is all through 5, even 11 p.m. We've still got rain and storms happening. Some of the winds could be in excess of 60 miles per hour. That'll take down power lines, that'll take down trees, and you could see a quick little spin up as far as a tornado anywhere in yellow there. So not only the flooding, but the tornadoes and damaging wind threat, and then a lot of wind, and then the heat in the west. I have so much more to talk about, Robin, which I'll come back with in just moments.
Okay, Ginger, thank you. But now the latest out of Washington. President Trump is heading to Capitol Hill this afternoon to meet with Republican senators and make a push on tax reform. He's promising not to make changes to 401k plans. And there are new developments in the Russia investigation. Sources tell ABC News that the president's longtime personal attorney will also be on Capitol Hill today for a closed-door interview by the House Intelligence Committee. And serious questions are growing about that deadly ambush that killed 4 Special Forces troops. Our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz, is in Washington with new reporting on this. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, Robin. It is a shock to many that the U.S. has some 800 troops serving in Niger, most at a drone base, but nearly 100 there to assist Niger's military in countering ISIS and al-Qaeda. And it is ISIS, the military believes, that killed those 4 Americans.
This morning, chilling new details about the ambush that left 4 American Special Operations soldiers dead in Niger. A senior intelligence official telling ABC News it started as a routine reconnaissance mission, a convoy of 6 to 8 vehicles, 3 American traveling to a local village. But after they completed that mission, a new order came through, a dramatic change in plans. The team now told to kill or capture one of the top ISIS targets in Niger. They never find the target. But on their way back to base, after being awake for nearly 24 hours, the group stopping in a remote village. A survivor of the ambush telling ABC News something is off. A village elder tries to stall them. And leaving the town, the attack. 50 terrorists are upon them, the team taking fire from rocket-propelled grenades and machine guns. One vehicle hit by a mortar and another disabled by gunfire. U.S. forces waiting more than an hour to call for help. Within minutes, a U.S. drone overhead, but it appears the troops waited about an hour before calling in French warplanes that arrived an hour later.
At about 2 hours after the initial contact was made, the initial French Mirages arrived overhead.
As night falls, 2 wounded U.S. troops are evacuated. So are the bodies of the 3 U.S. soldiers killed in action. But Sergeant LaDavid Johnson is still missing.
Why did it take time to find and recover Sergeant Johnson? Again, these are all fair questions that the investigation is designed to identify.
His body would not be recovered for another 48 hours. But that survivor telling ABC News Sergeant Johnson was, quote, grabbing every weapon available to him to fight and was, quote, a beast. His widow speaking on GMA to George yesterday, demanding answers.
I don't know how he got killed, where he got killed, or anything. I don't know that part. They never told me, and that's what I've been trying to find out since day one.
General Dunford says the Pentagon is working hard to get those answers for Mrs. Johnson and the other families. One major question, why would those special operations soldiers be sent on a new, dangerous mission without backup? George?
Thanks, Martha. We are joined now by the chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Senator Bob Corker. Senator Corker, thank you for joining us this morning. We just heard Martha say a lot of people were shocked to learn that we have almost 1,000 troops right now in Niger. As chair of the Foreign Relations Committee, do you understand what America is doing there? And do Americans know what we need to know about that mission?
Well, George, we received a congressional notification earlier this year that we had 600 troops there. I know those grow over time, and I visited the area. There's a tremendous amount of extremism there that we're countering. As far as the specific mission, those details we don't know, but we do know in that general area there are a lot of people that wish us harm. So throughout the Sahel, we have a large number of forces.
So we should be there?
Look, yes. Now let me say this, George. A week from yesterday, will be beginning a debate about the authorization for the use of military force. What's happened through the years is these efforts have spread throughout the world without a lot of congressional input. And I know that Senator McCain and others, myself, obviously want to make sure that Congress is playing the appropriate role.
Let's move on to tax reform. President Trump is heading up to Capitol Hill today to talk to you and other Senate Republicans about that. Yesterday, he seemed to take any reform of 401ks off the table. Are you confident he's got the will and the skill and the commitment to get this done?
George, I haven't seen that yet. There's about $4 trillion in loophole closings, credits, all kinds of things that you're very familiar with in the tax code that have to be closed in order to do what has been laid out. And so there's, you know, it's easy to talk about cutting people's rates and doing this, the things that benefit people, but the spinach, if you will, is in doing all of these reforms, which make filling out your taxes much more simple, and which is what the American people have asked for years. But if you start taking things off the table before you get started, you make that very difficult. And so what I hope is going to happen is the president will leave this effort, if you will, to the tax writing committees, let them do their work and not begin taking things off the table that ought to be debated in these committees at the proper time.
You've said you're not going to vote for a tax bill that increases the deficit. According to the current plan the White House has talked about, it's hard to know because it's not all down on paper, but probably increase the deficit, most experts say, by about $2 trillion. But when I asked the Treasury Secretary about that, Steve Mnuchin, here's what he said.
We believe there'll be $2 trillion of additional growth. So under our plan, we believe this will cut the deficit by $1 trillion, and that's what we're focused on. And that's with a conservative 2.9% GDP over the 10-year period of time.
Do you buy that explanation that growth is going to pay for this?
Well, we'll see, George. As you know, not all tax reform is equal, and so we'll have to see. Obviously, we need to look at scoring mechanisms. We'll go through the process. I don't want it. We have the greatest threat to our nation is not what's happening in northern Africa or what's happening in North Korea or any other place. It's really us, George, our inability to deal with our fiscal issues with $20 trillion in debt, another $10 trillion on current projections over the next decade.
You've had some tough words for President Trump. You compared the White House to an adult daycare center. You said he's putting us perhaps on the path towards World War III, and said most of your colleagues agree with you behind closed doors. Any second thoughts about those comments?
No, George, I don't make comments that I haven't thought about. The first comment was obviously in response to a very fallacious tweet that the president sent out. The second comment, really, when you look at the fact that we've got this issue in North Korea and the president continues to kneecap his diplomatic representative, the Secretary of State, and really move him away from successful diplomatic negotiations with China, which is key to this, you're taking us on a path to combat. And so, you know, I want to support these efforts that are underway. The president undermines our Secretary of State, raises tensions in the area by virtue of the tweets that he sends out. And I would just like for him to leave it to the professionals for a while and see if we can do something that's constructive for our country, the region, and the world.
Sounds like no second thoughts. Senator, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Leave it to the professionals. All right, George. Turning now to a group of teens facing murder charges in Michigan for throwing rocks from an overpass, killing a driver below. Adrienne Baker is here with the story. Good morning, Adrienne.
Good morning to you too, Robin and George. Yes, this was a callous stunt. The county prosecutor describes this as a willful and wanton act. Authorities say after throwing rocks and large chunks of concrete off that overpass, the group went to McDonald's. 5 Michigan teens between the ages of 15 and 17 have been charged with second-degree murder in the death of 32-year-old Kenny White after the teens threw a rock at his car on this Michigan overpass.
The caller states that something came through the windshield and hit her friend. He's now unconscious.
The group allegedly playing a game called dinging, tossing rocks over this bridge on Interstate 75 in the hopes to hear the ding sound a rock makes when it strikes a piece of metal. White, a father of 4, was driving home from his construction job when he was struck through the windshield, the 6-pound rock hitting him in the head, killing him.
I still can't figure out what goes through someone's head to want to just go out and throw stuff off of a bridge.
4 other cars were hit that day, including India Reeves. Her tire was flattened.
I'm lucky, I guess, to still be alive. Why would someone want to hurt innocent people that's driving along the road?
20 rocks were found along the highway.
We have a family here who's guy. He's got a fiance. He's got a child, and he's on his way back from a hard day's work. And out of the blue comes a rock, and he loses his life. So.
Just senseless. White's fiance tearfully describing how she had to tell her 5-year-old son his father had been killed. The teens will be charged as adults and could face life in prison if convicted.
6-pound rock. How do you not know that that's going to cause harm?
It was cruel, irresponsible, and now these teens are going to face the consequences.
Yes, they will. All right.
Boy, they should. Okay, Adrienne, thanks very much. We're going to move now to a bird strike that forced a JetBlue flight to fly at a low altitude as it diverted to a new location. ABC's David Curley is at Los Angeles International Airport with the story. Good morning, David.
Morning, George. The pilots knew that they hit a good-sized bird when they took off from the airport, but they didn't want to land immediately because their A320 was heavy with fuel. Overnight, a JetBlue aircraft took off right into trouble.
We felt a pretty good jolt.
Moments after takeoff, the Boston to Las Vegas bound jet struck a flock of birds with its left engine. The flight with 144 passengers declares an emergency, attempts to return back to Boston, but is denied because of weather. Instead, the flight rerouted to New York's JFK, forced to fly at a low altitude of just 3,700 feet. This flight radar image showing the plane as it heads toward JFK, but then it's caught in a holding pattern for nearly an hour. With bird flocks increasing in size in recent years, so have the number of bird strikes.
On touchdown, we had a bird strike and hit the side of the aircraft.
In 2016, birds hit this JetBlue plane, and then 2 hours later, birds ran smack into a Singapore A380, one of the largest jets flying.
A big flock of birds went into those 2 engines. It's kind of scattered everywhere.
And of course, the most famous bird strike of all resulted in what is called a miracle.
It's birds who lost thrust on both engines returning back towards LaGuardia.
When Sully Sullenberg's U.S. Air Jet took off, he lost both engines to bird strikes, landing in the Hudson River. Now, this incident yesterday, the reason they circled JFK was to burn off fuel before they landed. JetBlue says the diversion was out of an abundance of caution, and all the passengers were reaccommodated. Robin?
Glad everything worked out. All right there, David. Thank you. Now to Los Angeles, where the heat is on, my friends, literally and figuratively. Game 1 of the World Series tonight. Temperatures are soaring, and as we mentioned, this could be the hottest series ever. And our senior national correspondent, Lucky Duck, Matt Gutman, he's there at Dodger Stadium for Game 1. Good morning, Matt.
I don't know how lucky, Robin. It's going to be 98 degrees here at first pitch. That would make it the hottest first game of the World Series ever. Now, that's 52 degrees warmer than it was in Cleveland for the first game last year. You hear a lot of jokes from players about it being a dry heat, but not a lot of complaints. Justin Turner, that famous red-bearded third baseman, saying he would definitely prefer playing in the heat than in the snow. Now, both the Astros and the Dodgers are warm weather teams, so it shouldn't affect them that much. The biggest effect could be actually on the baseball, which travels, or batted baseball, which travels much farther in heat than it does in cold weather, Robin.
Perhaps not many people know that. Let's talk
about
baseball
science for you.
Yeah, the Astros' hot offense. All I can say is don't let the frame fool you. Little 5'6" Jose. Tell people how great this guy is.
I mean, he's the shortest player in the big leagues. The guy's 5'6", probably a nudge shorter, maybe about 5'5", yet he's got the biggest bat and probably the biggest heart. He is the heart and soul of that Astros team. Now, he also slugged 3 home runs against the Boston Red Sox. This guy is a monster, having a huge postseason. I want you to see this picture of him against Aaron Judge. That's his biggest challenger for the AL MVP. Aaron Judge is more than 13 inches taller and outweighs him by 120 pounds. Gotta love that guy.
That's a great pick. All right, Matt. Enjoy. Despite the heat, you're going to have a good time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No one should be surprised by Jose.
No, not at all.
Let's go back to Ginger Moore on that record-breaking heat.
Yes, and that heat is just all because of a strong case of the Santa Ana winds. So that offshore flow also causing the red flag warnings. Remember, when you take the humidity down like that and it's that hot, you have really high fire danger for much of Southern California. The other thing that I want to mention, aside from those offshore winds, it was 102 in LA yesterday, 99 breaking a record in San Diego. Some of those gusts could go 30+ miles per hour as the temperatures soar above 100 again. All right, let's get to the Tuesday trivia now, brought to you by Downey.
Well, here's to first dates. You look amazing.
And you look amazingly comfortable.
When your V-neck looks more like a U-neck, that's when you know it's half washed. Add Downey to keep your collars from stretching. Unlike detergent alone, Downey conditions to smooth and strengthen fibers. So don't half wash it. Downey, and it's done.
Mild to warm and turning sunny today. Our temperatures moving from the 60s to the mid-70s by 4 o'clock. Lots of sunshine today. The front moves through tomorrow. We'll see temperatures kind of up and down for a while. Your weekend 50-50. We've got one day that's going to be gorgeous. Your Saturday 68, 65 on Sunday with rain. Showers develop early and it gets pretty soggy by late in the day. So have plans to stay inside for Sunday afternoon. Halloween now looking dry.
Coming up, the desperate search for that suspected serial killer, the clues that could be in this surveillance video. The police chief saying everyone could be a suspect or a victim. We go inside the investigation this morning.
And Bill O'Reilly firing back, speaking out overnight, taking on that report about his $32 million settlement. He says he's mad at God.
Another day at the office. Why do you put up with it? Believe it or not, you actually like what you do. Even love it. And today, you can do things you never could before. You're working in millions of places